Hi, I'm Maynard with First and Foremost, and today we're going to be doing a renovation that includes a deck extension and screen porch add-on. And I'm really excited to get started with this job as it is for a really good friend of mine. So let's get going and make it happen, Captain. We're going to completely remove this lower roof here that slides underneath the overhang of the existing house. We're going to remove that completely and take all the facing, which is decking boards, rails, benches, grab rail, all of this is going to be completely removed. A majority of the supporting posts are also going to be removed, and we are going to extend this deck, which is currently 12 foot long, and we're going to make it 16 foot that way by about 32 feet this way. And on this end of the deck, we are going to have a 16 by 16 screened in porch. So to get started with this, we are just going to do a lot of the basic demo, and we really need to make sure that we inspect the condition of our post, girder beam, and joist. We have our power slides with us today, guys. These are not regular slides. These are 100,000 view slides. So let's make sure we hit that like and subscribe button and really smash that like button if you have it all possible and know how to slide up there and touch that thumbs up. The one thing I will say though, to let's save some space in the dumpster, I think we need to cut these things down into smaller portions. I don't even know why we're taking this thing apart like this, TJ. Who told you to take all this trash off in a bunch of pieces? I did. Well, I tell you what, this is going to turn out to be a nice piece of property. But you're going to have to do something about these gnats. I don't really know if there's what you can do about them. But if there was not these gnats, guys, we probably wouldn't be building this screen porch. So we're going to endure these gnats because that's probably what provided us this job. There is something here that I'd like to show you guys. There are different alternatives in the removal of your decking board process. We are going to cut in between the joist sections approximately every 4 foot so that our waist will be about 4 foot long, and also, more importantly, will not have a ton of nails from end to end and just require a lot of cranking, bending, pry bar issues. If we cut a couple of these in between here, it'll make it a lot easier for us. They'll come right up with either a roof spade and or bar, and we'll be able to avoid a lot of small pieces and a lot of big pieces. By only cutting it every 4 foot, it's still safe to walk on. You can see I can walk on this cut edge here, and just makes it a lot smaller and more manageable piece to tear off your deck. And if one guy gets started, you know, albeit some of these joists have been here for a very long time, they'll come right off. It's a really manageable size and won't take up a whole lot of room in our dumpster. I tell you what I could do to make a whole lot of money. I'm gonna make some construction slides. 12 foot exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna make some steel construction slides with memory foam. The condition of the joists are that some of them are in better shape than others, Chip. So we're probably going to remove a few of these. I did bring some replacements just in case this happened, because I kind of knew it was, I pretty much knew that it was going to happen. So I got the 2x10s to go around the bands. I got all those brand new. I'm going to come remove the two. The good thing is the two worst joists that we have that are compromised by water are the ones that we were going to get rid of anyways. But as you can see, these things are solid. I'm not going to mark up the whole front of the deck, but they are pretty solid. How old do you think this deck is, Robbie?
20 plus years.
See what I'm saying? You keep them decking boards off the ground and them joists off the ground, that's 20 something years. And I guarantee you, every single one of these, like look at the condition of this board right here. It's really good. I mean, I know the top has been sun-baked a little bit, has a little bit of not so, but this is very solid joist, all still the same. 20 something years in the ring. All right, one thing that we've noticed as we've gotten finished removing all the decking boards, that these joists in their current state are not attached to the band or the ledger at the house with any type of metal fastener and or hanger. So these have been completely banned in our current code, in building code in the state of Virginia. But you can see that these have not dropped not even a single 1/8 of an inch, and this deck is over 22 years old. So that being said, we are going to leave them in place, but we are going to reinforce all of these joists with new 2x8 joist hangers and or 90-degree Ticos, whatever the case calls for. This portion of the deck over here, you can notice that the joists have changed direction. So these are actually going side to side instead of front to back. Unfortunately, that does not work with the layout that we need with our screened porch area. So we'll be removing these joists and we are going to attach them directly to the ledger at the house and let them come frontwards. So that way, when we do finish off our screened in porch area and our extra deck area, that all of the decking boards will be running in the same direction, which we will be doing here. I'm gonna redo pretty much every support on this thing.
I was getting ready to say.
Yeah, every support's just gonna be brand new.
Whatever.
Yeah. Wheezy, Diamond Mouse braces. Okay, now let's just nail these tight. Now our overall dimension is the same exact thing front and back. On this deck, we have an overall dimension of 24 foot 6.5, which lends itself to be easily divisible by 8 foot, which is a nice symmetrical spacing to allow our 6x6 posts to be approximately 8 feet apart from each other. So we've broken our band at 16 feet exactly, which left us a remaining balance of 8 foot 6.5. So we'll be able to install a 6x6 directly in that corner, a 6x6 here supporting this break, half and half, so that there's not any one portion of this band that's free floating in the air, if you will. Everywhere where you see a potential break in the band, there will be direct support to the ground and or concrete block under that position. Whenever you're doing your deck, you do not want your double band, both bands, to be broken in the same place. It just creates a pivot point and a weak point in the deck structure itself. So it's always good to separate the breaks completely from point of load, which would be above our 6x6 post, and this one here above this load bearing point, which will be where our other 6x6 post. Now that's how you make it straight, baby. Woo-wee. That's what I'm talking about. Do I know what I'm talking about or do I not know what I'm talking about? Wheezy, guard me right there, la mera punta va. What do you got, Freddie? 29.6. So we've made our overall dimensions in our new band boards to the desired length and width. But when we checked our square from corner to corner, we're about 5 inches out of square, which will need about a 2.5 inch adjustment, because if we move 2.5 inches this way, it'll grow this side 2.5 inches, at the same time making this side 2.5 inches shorter, which should line itself up. Irregardless of how the existing deck was built, out of square, out of plumb, whatever, our new structure has to be perfect. We have too much riding on it for us to let something be this far off at the beginning. When you're digging your holes, you want to get down to a nice, solid, compacted dirt. You don't want to have a whole bunch of loose dirt in there. Just going to really call for solid dirt. And that's going to prevent any settling of your deck. So I've got 28 3/4 to the notch. Yeah, 28 3/4 to the notch, and then make me 9 inches taller. Ahí, clavos. Clavarlo arriba, and then nivelarlo y llenarlo con tierra. Yeah, right there. Clavarlo primero. All right, now let's get a string line on this thing. Let's get a string line on here so we can get these heights. Don't make me real tight. Cut me like a 1/16 inch, a little loose. We're gonna screw all these decking boards down in a nice, perfectly straight line. I'm gonna take some blue chalk and I'm gonna pop it right from end to end so I can get them screws looking really nice. That way when I stain this thing off, people are gonna love to have lunch and cook out on his deck. Most people have to pay to go to the gym. I will pay you to exercise. This is incredible. This is mind-blowing. We might should advertise this a little bit, by the way. So I'm gonna have to remind these guys that in most places you have to pay for the type of work we're allowed to do every day.